Hello everyone, my name is Jean Maldonado and welcome back to His and Hers Movie Reviews, where we spend money so that you don't have to.
And I'm Veronica, and we're here to review the movie Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal. I always call him Glendon Hall. I don't know why, because I don't know how to read. So we're going to go into a real quick non-spoiler synopsis about the movie. So basically, it's about Jake's character, what's his name, Billy Hope. He's a boxer, and it's in New York, so, you know, he's a big-time boxer. He's a lightweight champion. He's gone 43 wins without no losing. So he's a really good fighter, and pretty much what happens is that, as you know when you see from the trailer, his wife dies, and then he loses, you know, his relationship with his daughter. So he has to kind of like, yeah, he loses everything. So he has to kind of like fight back and come back from that. Which you told last night was kind of like an Eminem type of story. That
Yes, it was supposedly kind of like a retelling of Eminem's life in a way, just obviously in a different interpretation of his climb to fame and his fall, but then his rise to fame again.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see it. I could see it a lot, especially with the father and daughter relationship and things like that. But
yeah, it was like a comeback story.
Yeah, it was, and it was great, but. Right now, we're going to get into our segment called 60 to 60, where I give a 60-minute review, 60-second, 60 minutes, a 60-second review about what I thought about the movie, and then she will do so afterwards.
Okay, are you ready, Seth?
I am ready.
Ready, go.
First of all, I want to get started by saying that the acting in this movie was spot on. It was awesome. Jake he's turning out to be one of the best actors in Hollywood right now. And actually, he might have been already. But his movies, as far as Prisoners, you know, his most recent ones, Prisoners, what was it, Nightcrawler, and now this one, his performances are just spot on. Perfect. As far as the movie, it was, you know, it was stuff you've seen before, but done in a different way and done in a very entertaining way. The cinematography was awesome. As far as sometimes when you were watching the movie, the fights in the movie, it almost felt like you were just watching a pay-per-view event on HBO. Just the ways they were shot, the commentary. So that was really interesting to see. And
10 seconds.
Oh my God, you didn't even give me a 30-second warning, but it was awesome, and I give it 4.5 out of 5.
Good job.
Go see it.
Wow, you beat the clock. Okay, my turn. Okay, so non-spoiler. This is gonna be hard.
Ready?
But, okay, ready.
Action!
Okay, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was gonna be another boxing movie. Like you said, in ways it was. In ways it kind of wasn't, because it was a different, like, I guess the way that they shot it and everything too. They made it really interesting. I really love the characters in this movie. Each person, I'm not even gonna lie, every single person who was picked and casted for this movie did amazing. Like, even like the little, even 50 Cent, I didn't even know he was in the movie. I think he did a great job. It was believable. You end up hating him. So he did a good job.
25 seconds.
Okay, Rachel McAdams, she wasn't in it for too long, which I didn't like. I freaking love her. She's a great actress. She did amazing in this movie. Jake Gyllenhaal, top. Like, he's becoming one of my favorites. He's up there with Johnny Depp. So I give it a 5 just because it wasn't what I expected for a boxing movie. And I really enjoyed it. And I like boxing movies and, like, kind of, you know, stories like that, dramatic. And I loved it. 5.
Yeah, and I loved it.
I loved it.
Alright, so those are our non-spoiler reviews, 60 seconds each. Now you know both of our views on the movie. From now on, this is just going to turn straight into a spoiler review. Although this movie, there's really not much to spoil because the trailer spoiled most of it. But, you know, we are going to talk more in depth. So if you're interested in watching this movie, thank you for watching. You may leave.
Bye.
And subscribe. Then leave.
Oh, yeah. You fight.
Alright, so, again, warning. Hella spoilers. Alright, we're going to start with some of the key scenes that kind of just really got to me. I'm going to be a man and say that this movie brought tears out of my eyes multiple times. Not just one scene or two, several times throughout the movie. And yeah,
crazy.
It was crazy. There were some really intense scenes that you can really see Jake's acting chops, and I swear that some of the times, like I said, the way they shot the movie, sometimes it felt like a documentary. They were showing like things about, like the fights and stuff like that. And then you see his personal life and the way everything was being torn and taken from him. So you actually get that feeling of lostness and just you feel bad for the guy. You do. But then again, he doesn't really handle things like he should. Um, but that's more of a personal problem that he has, yeah, and just internal. And one of the key scenes in the beginning, even before shit goes down, that lets you know what type of guy he is that he let one of his possible opponents get into his head, and he was challenging 50 Cent's character, saying, "Book me this fight. I want this fight. I want to shut him the fuck up." But 50 Cent knows that that wasn't the right move. Like a lot of people would say, you fight one for the belt, two for the paychecks. So that's what he wanted to do. He's like, no, we'll get some easy fights just to pay the bills. And then he wanted that fight because that guy was talking hella shit. This is where you see. I think this is the first time that you kind of really see his rage, and he turns around and like flips a table full of like shit and just angry, and then turns back around and tries to apologize to 50 Cent. So there you see
a little character development.
Little character development, just the rage inside of this guy and how he can't control it at all.
Just to interject too, like in the movie, they kind of touch upon how he was raised up in the system. He was an orphan. He was raised up in, I think, foster homes and stuff like that.
Both him and his wife.
And the wife, yeah, they met when they were 12. So they don't really get into too much detail for the backstory. They don't do flashbacks or anything, which I like, because they didn't really have to. You kind of see the type of person that he is and the type of person that she is. Like, she's just looking out for him and his like benefit, for him to do good, and it's hard for a wife to sit there and watch her husband get beat up, because he wasn't even like a defensive fighter. Like, he would just let them hit, and then he'll let them all get all the hits in, and then he would knock them out.
He was a brawler. He was a brawler, and he could take a hit. So that was his fighting style. Hit me until you get tired, and then I'm gonna knock you out. Which was kind of Rocky's style of fighting.
Yeah, like he would try to get them tired, and then he would,
but eventually throughout the movie, he develops. He knows that he can't fight like that anymore. So
gets trained by
what's the guy's with the
Forrest Whitaker? I don't know his name. I forgot his name in the movie.
Great job.
Wills, I think it was in the movie. He did amazing. So he goes into Forrest Whitaker, which is Will's gym, and he sees that he's also training young kids, like, teens, which is good too. So, they kind of get into one of the little the little guy.
Hoppy, yeah.
They get into him, and it's really sad because it shows, that he's trying to like help kids, but in reality, life is crazy. And
he wasn't really doing anything, and then that kid had a lot of personal problems at home, and he actually ends up dying by the hands of his father. In the movie. So that actually also showed a lot of rage in Will's character, and that you see him kind of like beating up a punching bag, kind of just getting rage out, and then they have a moment. But this movie was really emotional, but it just pulled you in. It pulled you into these characters' lives, and
you felt what they felt. That little girl.
That little girl.
The daughter. That little. What's her name? I don't even remember her name. Her name is Layla, but I don't know the actress's name.
I don't know
that little girl. She's amazing.
She has a huge career ahead of her if she keeps this up, especially after this movie. Her agent, book her more movies. She is amazing. She did such a good job. I mean, there was parts that you kind of knew she's a little girl. She can't really pull that out of her like Jake can. But there was also scenes that I swear I couldn't believe that this kind of acting was coming from a little girl like that.
But also, the action parts of it, like, the fighting and everything, the choreography, like you said earlier.
Oh, the choreography was amazing.
Choreography.
Yeah, some of the most realistic fake fighting I've seen in movies in a long time. Just the way that the scenes were shot, the fighting, the choreography was just done so well. It didn't look fake at all. I really liked it, and the only reason I gave it 4.5 was just because I can't sit through this movie multiple times like I can for maybe Ant-Man.
It's a 2-hour movie.
It's 2-hour
Drama
movies
packed.
of just crying.
But it's awesome though. We definitely recommend watching it in theaters.
We do recommend it, and that's pretty much all we have to say about this movie. 4.5 on my part, 5 stars on her. Jake's performance is one of his best. Again, he just keeps bringing it every time. Again, we really recommend watching this movie. If you want to watch it in theaters, go ahead. It's really entertaining. Just you know, the atmosphere and the way the fights are done, it's cool. But if you want to wait for it to, it's on DVD because it's just that type of movie, I understand. You can go ahead and do that also. So jab, uppercut, hook the like button, and subscribe for more future movie reviews.
And go ahead and comment as well.
Comment. We'd like to know what you thought about the movie.
Alright guys, so until next time, because it's always good to know before you go.
Just in case it blows.